Hi guys, it's Jessica D 1987 coming at you guys with a video from a subscriber. Well, kind of from like two subscribers of mine talking more in depth, I guess, about natural hair in the military. From my experience, I decided to go natural or transition while I was in my last year of the Marine Corps back in 2008. It was right before my wedding, and I decided that I was going to get braids, and my whole thing was I was going to go for a full year. I was going to transition for a full year because I didn't want to big chop my hair and have a teeny weeny afro while, my last year is kind of hectic. I was pregnant with my third child at the time. It was going to be a very busy time during my life, and I didn't feel like I was going to be able to care for my natural hair like it should be taken care of during that time. So I was like, I'm going to transition once I'm out and stable and kind of in my routine. I was going to go ahead and do the big chop. What I was planning on doing was, like I said, transitioning with braids and weaves and wigs and all of that. A month after I got married, probably the end of May, almost 2 months after I got married in 2008, I decided to take out my braids. And as many of you may know, in my previous videos I have spoke about, once I took out the braids, the lady who had did my braids had put nail glue on the end of my hair at the end of the braid, which was halfway down the length of my hair. So needless to say, when my mom and I went to take out my braids, there were chunks of my hair coming out and there were still pieces of glue left in my hair. So I had to do the big chop early. Yes, I was angry because it was sooner than what I wanted to, but not to the point where I was extremely furious like I should have been with glue left in my hair, but because I knew I wanted the big chop and I knew that I wanted to go natural eventually, so it would just happen a little bit sooner than I thought it would have. I personally didn't experience any really adversities with having a teeny weeny afro while I was in the Marine Corps. Maybe it was the people that I worked with. Maybe it was the fact that I was in my last year and I didn't really care. But everyone was pretty supportive of me having natural hair. They felt like it wasn't eccentric, that it was within standards and rules. So I know that there are a lot of women or men who are in the military, active duty, reserve, whatever branch you're in, who have been wondering what is it like to have natural hair in the military. Because I know that I guess as of a couple years ago that dreadlocks are no longer accepted in the military. I don't know if I'm completely 100% right, but last time I checked, I believe that they are not allowed on active duty. I don't know if it's the same way for reservists. I found that there are people who went natural before they went to boot camp or basic training. I had one girl who was in my platoon who had dreadlocks, and they told her she couldn't have dreadlocks, so she had to cut it off. And I mean, she cut it off to probably about that much hair, and she relaxed it, and she didn't know what to do with it because she had her dreadlocks were probably shoulder length or something like that. And at the time I was transitioning to get locks, so my hair had been in comb coils for about 3-4 months, so it had started locking. I had to comb those out, and I ended up getting a relaxer. But for those of you who are already natural, want to stay natural when you go to basic training or boot camp, the best thing I would tell you, if your hair is short and you don't have a problem with wearing weaves or anything like that, I would say to get braids. Not too tight, not too small, but long enough where you can put it into a nice loose bun, because you're not going to have the time that you thought you would have had while you're in basic training, because you're busy training all day pretty much. And if you're against weaves or anything like that, then I would say you're going to pretty much have to wear a wash and go if your hair is short. Now, if your hair is a little bit longer, you can pull it back into a bun. Again, you don't want to keep it too tight because that could put tension on your edges. Another thing you can do if you want to get braids or you're not opposed to getting extensions is to get a bob style. If your hair is short enough, probably right below your chin or right neck length, it just can't touch the bottom of your collar. And that's a good style because you won't be putting tension on your edges because you won't have to pull it back every day. Number one thing I want you guys to know is that when you're in basic training or boot camp, you don't have the time. It's quick showers, hurry up and go, let's go. You don't have a lot of time to spend on your hair or your personal self for that matter. But once you go to your MOS school, your military occupational specialty school, or you get active duty to where you're going to be stationed at, or if you're reserves and you go back home, you'll have that time. So it's no The problem is just trying to get through that basic training boot camp time, what to do with your hair and how to do your hair. Like I said, once you get to school, once you get to your station, you have all the time in the world. You work from 7 or 8 until whatever time in the afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. And it's just like a regular job like you would have on the outside in the civilian world. And you have time to do your hair, wash, condition, deep condition, style your hair. Now you have to make sure that you're not wearing eccentric hairstyles. You know, braid outs and twist outs are absolutely fine as long as your hair does not fall below your collar. If you have really long hair, shoulder length or even longer, you may want to consider doing another style, like not individual braids. I know that's not allowed in the Marine Corps because the ends need to be secured and put away. You could put your hair in 2-strand twists or braids, and if it's long enough, put it back in a bun. Like I said, you could wear braid outs, twist outs. You could wear just a regular bun. If your hair is shorter, you could wear wash and goes. That'll be a perfect style for some people. Now you're gonna constantly putting on and off a cover so that can dry your hair out and it can mess with your hairline. So make sure that you pay attention to that and keep it moisturized. And once again, avoid the tight hairstyles. You don't want to over manipulate your hair, but you want to keep it clean because you're gonna be sweating a lot when you're in basic training and in boot camp. And I mean, you might be sweating as well, depending on what your job is once you get to your duty station. So, like I said, I did not experience too many adversities while I was active duty with my natural hair, and it could have been the people I was working with, but I guarantee you there's going to be somebody that looks at you the wrong way saying, is that allowed? Because there are women who chop their hair off and they want to go do the butch fruit. And I mean, no offense to people who do that, but if you want to keep your hair, and especially if you want to keep your hair natural, don't listen to other people. It is okay. This is the hair that God has given you from birth. So it's not unnatural. It's not eccentric. As long as you're keeping it clean and you're keeping it neat, presentable, and it's within the standards. So look up the UCMJ articles on female hairstyles about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and know it like the back of your hand, because there's going to be somebody, whether they're the same rank as you or above your rank, who's going to try you and tell you that's not allowed. You can't have that. Oh, twist outs. What is that? That's too eccentric. That looks crazy. And it's not. If it fits under your cover, it's good to go, so I hope that this helped my subscribers who kind of had questions about it or wanted to know more about my experience. If you have more specific questions, leave them below as comments or send me a message and I'll be glad to answer those or make another video. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.